Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kobe. Welcome back to FloRc, and today we have a special video for you guys. So it is going to be a RealFlight tutorial, but today, since I've been getting so many requests about, oh, can you send me your airplane? Oh, how have you have your sim set up, and all this stuff. So I decided that I'm going to go over that with you guys today. So I'm going to teach you guys how to edit a plane properly. And today is just going to be some of the basic things that you can do to make your airplane fly and tweak it um, and adjust it, not perfectly, but close to perfect, okay? So, as you can see here, we have just a normal PAU. I have a different scheme for it, but you see it's slow and it doesn't stop where I want it to stop, and right? It doesn't fly that good stock, all right? But we can edit this airplane in 5 minutes to fly 3 times to 10 times as good, all right? There's no limit on how good you can make an airplane fly. So the basis of what I want to go off of is right now I have a PAU. It's a stock airplane. Anybody can go and have it if they have RealFlight. But what I suggest you do is you go on the swap pages, knife edge swap pages, and you find an airplane that sort of fits your flying style, okay? And then from there, you can edit it how you like. That's how most of a lot of us sim people do it. So we just kind of find one that we like, and then we tweak it to our own preferences. Some people like more power, some people like less power. It's just all how you want to fly. It's up to you. That's what's so great about a simulator. Alright, so let's get into this. So first we have to diagnose what we don't like with the airplane. What is some of the tendencies that we don't like, okay? So first, I'm going to try and do some snap rolls with it, okay? So when I do a snap, it doesn't really stop where I want it to. You guys see that? So there's plenty of things that I can go in to make it a lot more crisp and needs a little bit of trim. Why do sim airplanes need trim? I don't understand. Just, it frustrates me. Okay. You see how I just miss every single snap here? So, while we're doing that, let's see how the elevator is, how the CG is, how we just kind of just fly it around and see what you don't like and diagnose what you don't like about it, okay? Maybe it's a little down on power, just a little bit, not much. Um, it doesn't really wrap up too well. So let's start with our main problem, which is the wings. Okay, so let's break it down, the wings. So what are we going to do in order to fix this? So there are a couple things that we can do. Okay, so we can go into here, or looking at the wings, and they're fat wings. So basically, they have a really low wing loading. So a low wing loading means that it's going to be very good at low and slow, and not so great at fast stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is right now we're not going to touch the CG, but we're going to go over to fuselage. Okay, and what we want to do straight off the bat if we're editing anything is we want to go and we want to put this to 1500 because there's nothing more frustrating than having a good flight and then something break off your airplane. So the strength multiplier makes it so it won't break. It won't break as easy. In 1500 you can't break it, but 1000 maybe if you do something super hard maybe it'll come off. But tweak that to your liking. Maybe you want to make it realistic. If you do this too hard, your airplane in real life will break. So again, just kind of set it to how you'd like. So I just do 1500 because I don't like to mess with that. It's a sim. I'm here to learn. Yeah. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the main wing itself. Okay. So the main wing is broken down into two parts. So it's broken down into the main wing itself and then just the ailerons. Okay. So we can see that it weighs a lot. The wing weighs a lot. So we can drop that down to maybe 40. Maybe we can go a little bit less than that, but we're just going to start off. We're going to have a nice starting point, okay? So our weight, and usually for the sake of editing and you want to make something perfect, you want to do everything step by step. So in order to make this video not 20 minutes long, I'm just going to do it all in order. So, but the reason that you don't want to do multiple things at a time unless you really know what you're doing is because there's too many variables involved. Because you say, oh, well, I don't like that, but I changed so many things that how do I know what to change in order to fix that? So, makes sense, right? So, you want to change one thing at a time unless you know what you're doing, basically. And if you're watching this video, then hopefully you'll learn at the end of this video. So, more power to you, shall we? So, we're going to put the weight down, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we can lengthen the ailerons a little bit to make it roll a little faster. So, this is not the only thing that we can do in this tab, okay? So, we can do maybe 46. You see how the ailerons lengthen a little bit. So, we're just going to leave it at that. We're just going to be okay with that. And the ailerons are not really thick, okay? So what we can do is not always do I keep kind of the percentage of it, so 30 and then 22, so we subtract that, it equals 8. So usually I don't really change that, but we can. So we can go to 40 and maybe 32, okay? So obviously the ailerons are a lot bigger now, so it's going to roll a lot faster, okay? So that's good. But the main thing, one of the main things that happens is when you roll and then it's not really crisp, it's because of your servo speed. So we're going to go over to electronics, and then your aileron is going to be your first one, and the servo speed is 15. That's a lot. Real servos in real life are down to 0.09, 0.08 if you're using some MKS. Yeah, so we're going to change that. If we do it to 0.01, then it's going to be like instant, super instant. And a lot of people use that, but I don't. I usually bump it down to 0.06. So because when it's at 0.01, you have to be basically perfect, or else it's not going to stop exactly where you want to. With 0.06, you're going to have a little bit of leeway with your roll. Okay? So while we're here, a simple thing we can do in order to make it fly better is just put everything down to whatever your desired speed is, okay? If you like it a little more realistic, you can do it a little higher. If you like it just a better flyer in general, you can do it down. The throttle, don't really mess with that, but we're here, so. And then you can just press this and then save, okay? And then you can name it whatever you want. We're going to do PAU Edge 540 FloRc, okay? So now we're good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to see how it flies now, okay? It's a little more crisp, a little bit, and now we're going to do some snaps. See how it rolls a lot faster and how it stops where I want it to, okay? Perfect, okay? So I like how the roll is, okay? I really like how the roll is. I still don't like how the tail feels, okay? So what we can do is we can move the CG back a little bit, okay? We can move the CG back just a little bit. So we're going to go to physics, airframe, and then I always get confused on this. All you have to do is just type in a number and figure out, okay, we're going in the right direction, right? So let's do -2. Okay, so that just backs it up just a little bit. And what we can do here, if you know what a quick edit is, it just lets you mess with the throws. So here we can also do that. We don't have to go back into quick edit. So we can go down to deflection here. The aileron is, I think it's fine, but we can bump it up to 48 maybe. And then now we go down to our rudder. And what we can do is we can also mess with how big the rudder is, how big the rudder itself is, just like we did with the aileron. So you can mess with that. Also, what you can do right here, as I said, you can make it larger. Blowback, you can also do blowback. So blowback is when a servo isn't powerful enough and you're going fast and the servo has trouble deflecting it all the way because of the wind. So we could put a little more deflection here maybe, and then on our elevator we can do the exact same thing. We can go down to here, put it down to 60. Okay, and also what we can do is we can make these weigh a little bit more. Okay, so we can get a little more tail authority if we want. So we're gonna do it by a little bit, 12. Vertical, we can do that maybe to 9. Okay, so let's see how that flies. Ah, don't do that. That's bad. Not in the pits. So trim it. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. So now it doesn't fly half bad, does it? No, it does not. It does not fly too bad, right? So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like, share, and subscribe. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned a lot. I already said that. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I hope you guys take something from this. Maybe learn to edit your own planes. But again, take all my advice into perspective and go fly. Sweet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for another video.